truck rescue. I have a little thing when I sell project trucks where I try to put all the parts that the truck needs together. It saves my customers a lot of hassle on the other end. You can really get nickeled and dimed to death trying to pick up this little piece and that little piece. So what I do is I go through the truck from bumper to bumper, identify any serious things that need to be fixed before it's safe to ship it, and I try to get them running and driving reasonably well, and supply all the parts that they're missing. This truck, 55 GMC 3/4 ton Napco 4-wheel drive, is a truck that I bought as part of a 3-truck package. And the seller was a little deceptive about, a lot of things. And he kind of manipulated the situation where I really didn't have the time that I needed to go over every truck from front to back before I had to either buy it or lose the opportunity to buy it. So I bought all 3 trucks. He said all 3 were running and driving. No, none of them, not one of them. One of them would start up and move under its own power. That's it. But if anyone would have taken it out on the road, they would have damaged the truck and possibly themselves too in the process. But so we're going to start with this one. I have a customer that's waiting for this truck. He's been very patient, and we're going to get started on it, rounding up parts for it, identifying what it needs. So we start at the very front. These holes right here are for rods that go through and connect to the firewall with those 2 bolts over there. So there's a rod on each side of the firewall and radiator core support that goes through these holes right here and bolts to the firewall. It's missing this one too, but I did round them up, and the other one bolts on over there. So I'll get the battery box in there, bolted down, get the new battery in it, cables hooked up. So we'll go up and round up the hood latch, radiator core support rods.
And I'm gonna go grab the checklist real quick.
That's a good idea, Jamie.
Okay, be right back.
If we write all this down, it'll save us a lot of time.
Do you want this to keep going? Or
yeah, sure.
Okay.
I already rounded up a battery box. When I got this truck, it had well, it didn't have a battery in it, but the battery location was on the passenger side floorboard. So I rounded up a good, correct original battery box. It does have some surface rust on it, but trust me, finding one of these with no rot under where the battery laid is very hard to do. I got a couple bolts holding it on there. First thing I'll do is get that bolted down, relocate the battery, and I'll put a good battery in it from the passenger side to the correct location under the hood. That way you don't have a 12-volt battery sitting next to the racing fuel cell that was sitting on the floor right next to it, which was basically a plastic jug. What?
Does it say, may I speak?
Yes, you may.
What was it on the list besides the hood latch?
Okay, we need a hood latch. We need radiator core support rods. And I'm pretty sure that's about it for under the hood. I did get the battery box, but we need to bolt that down and put the battery up here. Also, if I have time, I would like to go ahead and hook up the factory fuel tank that goes behind the seat and get it all strapped down. There's a little piece that they took out of the firewall right there, down by the steering column. Will you look in the truck and see if that's laying on the floor, honey? By the, I thought I saw a piece like that on by the gas pedal. And I'm thinking the reason they did that is somebody got lazy and yes, awesome. Put that aside because we'll need to make sure that gets put in a box. They got lazy and cut a hole in the new firewall, and somebody replaced the whole firewall in this truck. And the front half, thank you, honey. The front section of the floor they also replaced, so that still needs to be tacked down, but they actually did a halfway decent job, and it's a very nice firewall. We'll round up a headlight bucket, complete headlight bucket assembly for this. Also told the guy that I'd round up some original chrome. You know, I don't have any nice original chrome ones, but original chrome style headlight bezels. Also told him that I would send him patch panel, because I think it'd be a little too much work to try to reconstruct this eyebrow over this headlight. So I'm going to send him a whole section here, and what I'll do is I'll cut it across here in a straight line, and I'll cut it straight down here and make sure the other cut is behind this piece of chrome trim. It'll save them a lot of work than trying to patch in a curved piece. Okay, another thing I identified over here that's gave me a little concern is this loose nut on the pitman arm with no lock washer behind it. So on your list, honey, we need to get the correct lock washer for that and tighten that down, because we don't want our customer going down the road and then, you know.
Yeah, I know all too well about that.
Whoa.
I know exactly what happens.
That's because you've driven a truck with vice grips on where the steering wheel was supposed to be, and that was not one of my trucks. That was prior to us meeting, because I would never let Jamie drive a truck down the road with vice grips. I'll let her drive a truck that don't have any brakes, but
You know, but I mean, in my big GMC, I used to eat up idler arms.
oh yeah.
And tell you,
So the steering would just completely fail while you were going down the road?
yes, my
Does that
drop
get exciting
link.
sometimes?
Well, I was lucky because it only happened when I was pulling out of my driveway or pretty much stopped somewhere.
Yeah, that
and
would
I
be
could
worrisome.
feel it when it was going to happen. Okay.
Moving inside. Door panels, and I told him that I would send him a piece to patch this whole bottom. I'm gonna do better than that. I'm gonna send you a complete driver's side door. Your door has really solid bottoms on it, so the door that I'm gonna send you won't have solid bottoms on it because they're impossible to find in this condition. But you're not going to want to try to work with that, so I'll send you a whole door. I already rounded them up, some nice door panels right there. They've got a couple little dings on them, but they're super. Show them the backside, honey, because that's what you want to watch out for on those. Anyway.
Ooh, don't want to forget that guy.
Okay. Also inside. Oh, I'll also send you some door handles and the correct white. This is an incorrect Chevrolet window crank handle because it's got a black knob. Your GMC should have white knobs on it. I'll round you up a set of those. We need an interior window garnish molding for the driver's side. The passenger side does have it. I do see a potential problem over there. Yeah, this shaft right here, the splines are stripped off of it, so I'll send you a replacement passenger side window regulator, a good one with good splines on it. Replacement glove box. Okay, I don't know if we're gonna have time to get to this, but if we do, I'd like to install his gas tank, and in order to do that, I'm gonna need a fuel filler neck. I won't have any good rubber grommets. He's going to have to get a replacement rubber grommet. But we'll, if we have time, his cab over there's been smoothed over where the hole is for the gas cap filler. But I'll check with him on that. And if he wants me to, I'll cut that open a little bit. The body people can do the finish cutting. But I'll cut it open a little bit, just enough to get the correct fuel filler through there. And we can put a cap on it. That way the truck's safe to move. It doesn't have a plastic jug full of gas sitting inside of it next to the battery. I need fuel tank straps to strap that tank down. We need to get him a dome light. Oh, there's a dome light down here. It's got the socket and everything, a little bit of surface rust, but no rot. We'll send that with the glove box. We'll get this strapped down with the proper straps. Flip it around the other way so that you can fill it on the side that it's supposed to be filled on. And that way we won't have a hooky plastic jug sitting next to a 12-volt battery. Missing the complete ashtray assembly. We'll get one of those. I already told him. It's got a nice radio delete plate on it though. The gauges are complete. Looks like we're missing some screws for the gauge panels, and those are specific for these trucks, so I'll try to round up a set of those. The headlight switch is hanging down there. As far as the heater, it's missing the complete heater system because this was a heater delete truck. That's a heater delete plate right there. Either that or it was a standard heater truck, but we'll get the correct flange that goes on here for the deluxe heater. Give him a whole complete deluxe heater assembly. He needs, I gotta look up under here. Oh, defrost ducts. It's got defrost ducts. Okay, so we'll give him the complete heater assembly, the flange to get it over there, and also I'm going to rebuild him a set. Well, I say rebuild. What I do is I take old heater controls. The ones for the GMCs are very hard to find because the GMC dashboard is different. It has this hump right here. Chevrolet Deluxe heater controls would just be an arc right there. But the GMCs have this hump. They're hard to come by. I do have a decent one with decent chrome on it. What I'll do is I'll take that apart because the pot metal arms that you control the temperature and stuff with break all the time. And I have remanufactured steel arms that I'll put in it. I'll put new white knobs on it, and I'll send that along with this heater. Also, passenger side wing window lock arm. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's a wing window doodad. You got to get one of those.
Doodad.
If you look in here where the heater bolts up, where I need to get that flange on your right there, honey, where the heater hooks up, where I need to get that flange, there are also kick panels that go down there. This one has the large vent grill. It's right behind the headlight switch that's hanging down there. It has the proper large grill for the driver's side, but there's a smaller grill that goes over here in front of that flapper, that little flapper door down there.
Yep.
That we need to round up, and that will complete the interior. Oh, rear view mirror. We need to get him a correct original style rear view mirror and the stem. I already rounded him up a horn cap. These are kind of hard to come by. The ones for the 55 and 56 trucks are different than the ones for the 57 through 9 because the 55 and 56 had a flat steering wheel. In 57, they made the steering column shorter and made the deep dish steering wheel that had a longer horn button on it. But this is the correct one and the correct steering wheel for this truck.
Does that guy have a tack, or does he got the...
No, he's got the GMC logo, but he does have the deluxe gauges, and they're actually pretty nice.
I'm gonna go look at him.
Okay. Those are pretty nice gauges for being 60 years old, right?
Yeah.
Another thing I need to do while we're over here on the driver's side. This is not the correct location for the brake pedal.
Yeah, you don't need a brake pedal at all.
It should be right there somewhere. So we'll definitely need to hook that up. Also, it's missing the emergency brake assembly. This truck, it's a 3/4 ton. It would have had the larger heavy duty floor mounted emergency brake that you yank on, and then it tightens a band over a drum on the back of the transmission. I like them, they're good brakes. But also the accelerator pedal, I'm gonna have to do some work on that. I may have to replace all this linkage. I think it has the incorrect linkage on it, and if anyone saw the first video we did on this truck, it kept jerking around and stuff. It's because I had to drive it with this little peg, and every time we'd hit a bump, my foot would move and the truck would lurch. So we got to get that taken.
What do you mean? I drive Bullfrog with a throttle peg all the time.
Yeah, but it doesn't bind up like this one, honey. But it's got all the correct Napco stuff. The shifter handles are kind of laying next to the frame. It's correctly mounted and up in the cab where you can actually shift that stuff from in there. Another surprise. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise, surprise!
My customer actually mentioned that in the first video, when I was going over an extreme dip in a hill, that he thought there was a lot of flex in the frame. Well, it wasn't the frame that was flexing. That was because the cab is not bolted down with any bolts, and the bed is not bolted down with any bolts. how someone could call that running and driving, I guess that wouldn't affect the running and driving, but really, when you sell a vehicle to someone, especially if you sell them to people that are far away, you got to give them an accurate description, because no truck's perfect, no car's perfect, but if you tell someone every one of the flaws that it has, instead of letting them find that out for themselves when they get this thing that they've been waiting for, that they paid their hard-earned money for, and they're disappointed with it, it'll come back on you. I'd rather just be blatantly honest and say, it needs this, this is messed up, you're gonna have to work on this, and then they know that when they get it. You know, don't tell someone that a vehicle's running and driving when the steering's getting ready to fall off of it, or the drive shaft's not bolted in, or the body's not bolted to the frame. You know, that will come back on you. Already rounded up a battery for it. This truck does have the spare tire cut out on the fender, and that's an option that my customer said that he does like. So I'm gonna go ahead and round up. And what's funny is when I bought this truck over here, the guy, this was a strong selling feature to him. He kept talking about this rack right here and how rare they are and how hard. No, they're not rare and hard to find. Yeah, the ones for the short beds are getting really hard to find, and these are a little difficult to find, but he was trying to sell the whole truck to me based on the fact that it had this spare tire carrier, and he told me I would never find another one like it, and I kind of let him know, well, yeah, unless I go home and look at the couple that I have. So we do have one for Nick to put on his truck. I'll send that along, and I'll also dig up the correct size. I don't know if I have the exact same style, but I'll get the correct size wheel, and hopefully I can find one that's got these clips on it that are for the correct original hubcaps. I don't have any 3/4 ton hubcaps, but we can make sure he's got the right wheels and his spare tire setup and all of that. Other than that, as far as parts, tail lights, I'll just be honest with you, they make reproductions that are very cheap, and all the ones that I have are going to be in about this condition. So if you said you were trying to fix this up for a daily driver, I would go ahead and invest the money in I think there's 20 bucks for a pair of the reproduction taillights. That way you have new sockets for the bolts to go in and new wire leads on them. You don't want to just kind of chance your taillights working on a 60-year-old taillights.
Hey, truck farmer. It's supposed to start raining.
Yeah, I know. I'm about ready to button it up for tonight. Made a lot of progress on the 55 GMC today. Uh-oh, the hood's latched. It wasn't able to latch before because it didn't have a latch, but I found a good, correct, original one, put that on there. Also, I spent a lot of time today learning about this stuff.
Throttle linkage.
Throttle linkage for one of these engines. And trust me, it's a very simple design, but this piece right here is bent almost flat here to make up for a shortage that it had. It was too short. This is off a regular truck, and this thing's got a big 6 in it. So anyway, the correct linkage is supposed to have a much more arc right here and be a little bit longer. Also, all this stuff has to be adjusted just right, and the spring tensions have to be just right. So I went ahead and installed the correct length one and correct return springs down there, and got my linkage all hooked up because I was having a really hard time driving this thing. I had to drive it by peg with my heel, and now it's got the pedal hooked up. Works real nice, and it's got one of these things. It's a brake pedal.
What's that? None of these trucks that we have those.
Yeah, and show them the shifter levers for the transfer case.
Oh yeah, look at that. They're
bolts holding the cab to the frame. Also got the bed bolted down. I still have to get bolts for the back, but for the back of the cab. But all my old ones seem to be all rotted and everything. That may be something that the customer has to get later. But it's good to know that it's securely bolted to the frame and the bed. So no major body parts go flying off as it's being shipped. Still got a lot of work to do on it. What else did I do today? What else have I gotten done on this? Absolutely nothing.
Oh, you put the horn button on there.
Oh yeah, I also bolted the steering wheel on, which is very helpful, and got the whole horn button assembly with the correct contacts and everything in there in place. I did notice some kind of hooky here though that I didn't notice before, and that's that the steering column is not bolted to the bottom of the dash. We'll go ahead and take care of that. We can't be shipping it like that.
Oh, I know what else you did.
What else did I do?
This gas nozzle.
Oh yeah, that doesn't look real good, but I put the gas tank in. Actually ran metal fuel line from the engine. If you come look over here. Yeah, because you don't want rubber hoses up next to your engine. Anyway, I went ahead and installed the metal fuel line going to the fuel pump, and then it goes under the cross members and down the frame, and then goes into a rubber one. I have the correct straps on the gas tank right there, and the cab was smoothed over down there where the fuel net goes through it, and I spoke with the customer, and he said, yeah, go ahead and just hack a hole in there, because I don't have my body tools and stuff. But I did do at least get it hooked up properly, so it's not Mickey Mouse. So as far as I can tell, and they kind of bondoed over where they had covered the hole up, he can have his body man finish cutting this hole out the right size for the rubber grommet that goes on these trucks, and then put a factory gas cap and the grommet on there, and that'll look a lot better. But it has the bonus feature of you being able to pull into a gas station and pull the gas cap off and fill it from outside the vehicle, instead of having to open the passenger side door and fill a plastic can. And got the correct battery box bolted in there, got the battery in there, got the cables all right. So everything that's supposed to be under the hood is under the hood. I'm anxious to see how it is driving this thing with brakes, weird things like brakes and an accelerator pedal, and the cab and bed bolted down, and the hood latched.
Are you taking it in the pasture?
Oh, we can take it around. I like the accelerator pedal a lot better. Well, that's low range right there. The good news is I can see it now.
Oh, there's the deer. Hi, girl. Hi, girl. He's gonna scare the deer. There's old Hop too. He's digging a trench. Ricky. Tell us how you do.
It's a lot better. It's nice having an accelerator pedal. It's nice having brakes that work, and it's still got a ways to go.
Yeah, there was deer out there. I thought you were gonna scare them.
Yeah.
Was there 4?
There was a few of them. Classic Truck Rescue. Calling it a night on this one tonight, but we'll be back tomorrow.
Good
Peace
day's
out.
work, baby.
Yeah. Classic Truck Rescue, just a quick update on the 55 Napco. James, go get a shot of the shift levers.
Oh yeah, those things are tight.
Yeah, I had a lot to overcome with the levers because somebody had gotten real creative with the previous mounting hardware. And I tried to use some of it, but the problem was these levers, this truck's not going to have a sweet little voice that comes on and tells you you're in the wrong gear when you're going down the road. So when you put one of these levers in the position it needs to be, it needs to stay there and not be flopping around. But these are real firm now. And this one I was having a lot of trouble with, but it's real firm also. Took several trips to the hardware store to get everything right, but I've got everything snug and tight now. I'm going to go ahead and scrounge up a couple of period correct knobs to put on there. Knobs to put on there. Another good hunk of progress is this guy right here. We now have the emergency brake, and this one has the heavy-duty transmission emergency brake. So not only are the brakes, the accelerator pedal, and all that working, but he's got an e-brake. I'm going to go ahead and scrounge him up a better cover for the floor. There was one in the back that's kind of hacked up. See if I can find a little bit better one. Put it on there, get this secured so that when it's being shipped, there's not a big hole in the floor. Put some knobs on it. The seat, this is a real nice original seat frame with all the springs in nice condition. So I'm going to get something to put over it so the springs don't get messed up by people sitting on it.
Bubble wrap and Gorilla Tape.
Yeah, bubble wrap and Gorilla Tape. And a few more things to button up, and then this thing will be ready to go. Yeah, I know, I'm going to get the floor buttoned up right now. Oh, anyway, look under here. So this is what I'm talking about them getting creative previously on the mounts. They had bludgeoned the end of this, I think it's a shackle bolt, bludgeoned it so bad that you couldn't get a nut on it to get it up through there. Show them how nice and pretty all
can't
this.
get 'em in
gotta
there.
bend my new cotter pin there.
I'm not a noodle. Oh.
Anyway,
Oh.
don't want that coming out.
Can you just put,
kinda hard to reach
put a
from
10-penny
this
nail in there?
I actually had one in there, but I felt bad about it. Just while I was doing the mock-up stage.
How do I know about it?
Anyway, so all that's snug and secure right now. Nothing flopping around. But they had bludgeoned, I think it's a shackle bolt. They had bludgeoned the end of it so bad that they couldn't get the nut on the end. This was off the other side. So instead of straightening the threads out, and this wouldn't have had the right clearances anyway. There still would have been slop in it. That's why I went to the bolt. But instead of fixing the threads and putting the nut on the end, they took this piece of iron right here, which is a good thing I have my safety glasses on today because I actually broke it off and this piece flew off and hit me right on a glass lens right there.
Oh my
Praise
gosh.
God that my eyes are okay.
Yeah.
They had this cobbled onto here on the end so that the bolt wouldn't fall out because it didn't have a nut on the end, and then they bolted it to the frame up there. So they just added a big chunk of metal that it really didn't need because this is super strong right here. These things are securely mounted on there now, and if you just put the right bolt in
So
there.
what have we learned from this? Don't bludgeon and cobble.
Don't bludgeon and cobble. Sometimes people will see me doing a little creative engineering when I'm out in the field just to get something running and get it home. But this wasn't something. This was something that somebody did intending to leave it like that, and that's not good. But anyway, we've got that all squared away. All the shifting stuff's working good. This thing's running, driving, stopping, steering good. I'm gonna button up the floor, scrounge him up a couple of shift knobs, and then we'll go for a ride. Right? Mm-hmm. You want to drive it?
As long as
It's
I don't
pretty
bludgeon
civil
and
now.
cobble.
We'll leave the hammers here. Okay, good thing for my glasses today. Wear your safety glasses when you're grinding, beating, cobbling, and bludgeoning.
And we send prayers out to.
We send prayers
Baton
out to
Rouge,
all the law enforcement out there. A lot of people know about my past. I've had run-ins with law enforcement. They were all my doing. There are a few bad cops out there, but 99% of the cops are just good men and women trying to do their job and keep our country safe. And we can't be having people out there just basically sucker punching them with bullets.
Yeah.
It's not cool. Very disturbing. Yeah, this thing's come a long ways. I'm going to get her buttoned up. We're going to take her for a drive, and I'm going to do some finishing touches on it. And then 55 GMC Napco 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive.
It's in the his now.
Ready to ship.
Shizza.
Ready to ship.
Ship out.
And we'll go ahead and do some video on it when we ship it too, to show that it's on the truck, undamaged and
Hey, that looks like a
ready to go. Also, I've collected a lot of tools from this truck. Apparently, the guy that sold it to me didn't need vice grips anymore because it had vice grips all over everything, holding everything together. I told my customer on the Napco that I'd clean up and restore a pair of deluxe heater controls as part of offering them a complete deluxe heater package with that thing. But I thought about it, and since I'm doing it anyways, it's been a while since I've done a set of these. Thought I'd go ahead and show some of my viewers how to fix your own heater controls if you have an old Chevy or GMC 55 to 59 truck. These are the deluxe ones. The other options for this slot where these are attached would be a blank plate with a knob on it for the standard heater, and then just a blank plate for the heater delete trucks. But this is a deluxe heater truck. I already got started before I thought about it, but basically first thing you do is there's 2 screws that go in the bottom right here and right here, and you pull those out. Phillips head screws with a bevel on them for the recessed holes that they go in. Then the next part's a little tricky. There are 2 screws on the top, on the back side. They hold the controls to the top, to those tabs up there, which may be either bent back or broken. I don't know. I unscrewed them though. And then the easiest way to get to that is if your glove box looks like this, just poke a hole in the side of it right here where you can get to everything. When you first pull them out, you want to be careful not to damage the fan switch right here, because it's a variable speed control switch for the fan motor. So be careful with that ceramic piece and spring on the top there when you pull them out. And then just pull them out a little ways, and there are 3 cables that hook up to it. You just take the, you'll see the Phillips screws where each cable goes in. Take those off, get the cables loose, and then you have to disconnect the wire for the lamp and the heater switches. So get those screws out, get the cables loose, get the wires loose, and get your controls off. And then when I come back, I'll show you how to dismantle and clean it. I went ahead and left the leads on for the fan switch so he'd know which one's power, and also the lead for the lamp right there. These are where the 2 cables go in the back, and this is the one that comes into the top. There are 6 screws that hold the 3 cables on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 3 right here hold the cable housing. These 3 right here, 1, 2, 3, hold the cable itself to the controls. We start by taking the knobs off first. The 2 top knobs have their screws located on the bottom underneath the knobs. And then one of the lower knobs is broken. Actually, the whole lower level's broken on this one, but you have 2 bottom levers, and their screws are located on the inside of the knob. And then the next thing that I remove after I get the knobs off is the faceplate, and that's held on by 4 screws on the side. And you gently pull the face off. Just wiggle it a little bit. You want to be careful. And then inside your faceplate, there's a back plate. And if you got a GMC set, be very careful with that. These are hard to find and they're different from the Chevys, just as this bezel's different from the Chevy and this housing. This one's actually in really good shape. The paint's in good shape on it. Doesn't have any cracks. It'll probably clean up pretty good. As you can see, that bulb's burnt out. Now's the time to check those. See how it's silver like that? I'm pretty sure that one won't work. The screws for your fan switch are mounted. You got to access them through the bottom down there. As you can see, that has one broken lever right here. These levers break really easy. And you remove that by driving this pin through from this side. And make sure you use a big hammer. Once you have your housing completely stripped down, go give it a scrub. And I lay my levers out like this when I take them out, because I put the controls back in the same spot, and then I know the levers go like that. New knobs and new levers. And I've learned with these lever kits that the bushings and shims don't always line up the way they're supposed to. So sometimes you have to get a little creative to get them to line up where the levers go through these slots properly. So before I put the deluxe heater controls in, I just wanted to get a shot of the complete 2-speed electric wiper system installed with the correct switch. I'm going to go round up the nuts and the knuckles that go on these pivot shafts right here and put those on. As far as blades, all my blades are 60 years old. You can get reproduction brand new ones very cheap. The expensive part is that motor, the wiper transmissions, and the switch, which are all installed. And I'll go ahead and put the deluxe heater controls in now. Finished on the inside of the 55 GMC Napco 3/4 ton. Got the gauges all secured with the correct original mounting screws and clips behind them. Got all the controls hooked up. Put a pretty decent cover on there. It's only held down with a few screws because this, where they replaced the entire firewall, still needs to be welded right along that seam there. So those holes will have to be lined up afterwards, but all the shifter levers are in, working good. Emergency brakes hooked up, works good. I'll show that running when I take it for a test drive here. And it's come a long ways. No, deluxe heater controls in the dash, and ashtray assembly, complete wiper assemblies in there. Got a little work left to do on the outside. This guy looks a lot better with both his headlights in and buckets. But I've been waiting for a long time. When I got this truck, this very hard to get piece of chrome trim was taped on there with painter's tape. I put a bungee cord on there to keep it a little safer, but we don't need a bungee cord anymore. They're just bolted on there now. Yeah, starting to look like a truck again. I like it. Doing the final video on the 55 GMC Napco 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive. I have to get a video to the customer tomorrow because they're going to be here to pick it up in a few days. But it's finished as far as the work that I needed to do on it. I did put a wood block behind the grill, the hood insert emblem, just because some of the tabs are broken. I wanted to make sure that it wouldn't fall out while it was being shipped. I did put the headlight buckets in it and some original chrome headlight rings. All the grill pieces are bolted on now, so nothing's going to fall off while it's going down the road. I was able to find a couple of original wiper arms, not the blades. So the wiper system is complete. You just need to get some refilled blades for it. I put the correct original door handles on it. I did not put the window cranks on it because, as I said, the splines are stripped on this window regulator on the passenger side. I sent you a new window regulator. One thing about this truck too is that the key that I'm sending with it operates the ignition switch, the glove box, and the passenger side door. There is no door lock on the driver's side. They came from the factory that way.
You're getting a nice truck. When your truck is done, will you please send us pictures? Because
yeah, please do.
Ricky, this was Ricky's truck. He loved this truck. He loved this truck like I loved that truck. My love affair with Buddy's over. It is a nice looking truck. Look at him. He runs so good. His windshield looks awesome.
I like the front end now that it's all put together.
Yeah, I know.
He's a pretty boy.
It's okay, guy.
I do want to see it
gonna...
when it's done. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of people say they're going to send me pictures of the trucks when they finish them, and very few do. I would appreciate being able to see them.
Yeah, it would be really cool if you know, when we ever get this museum thing going, and to have a wall of all the trucks that, like the doctor's office. You know, you sent them a truck and they rebuilt it, and we'd like pictures of the finished product because it's kind of emotional.
That's kind of hard to let someone go, especially ones that, like this was going to be my
yeah,
personal truck.
It was. You should see his face when he's driving it through the pasture too. It's so awesome. It's a shipping day.
Yeah, he just basically, it was just a shell, and he wanted me to just get it for that's all he did. And then I provided the parts that it was missing. So there's some parts inside and some parts in the back. First trip out on the road.
I know.
Okay. I'm just going to do a quick walk around video to show the condition and the inventory on what he's got in there.
Of course.
Thank you.
Any tricks for starts?
I would, hold that. Yeah, you know, it's really old, so it has a foot starter. Now, it does start good, but if you put it neutral and the emergency brake works,
Okay.
that you pull back.
Okay.
Pull that back, that's the emergency brake, and then you push this,
Okay, I
push
know.
it forward. It has a stomp starter.
Okay.
So you just put it in neutral,
Okay.
turn the key on, pump the gas one time, push this. Starts right up. It runs really good. Okay?
Okay.
I would recommend disconnecting the battery.
Oh, yeah, definitely,
Because I don't know what the condition of the wiring is. You know, you don't want to short in your truck.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, just doing a quick walk around on this to show the no dents. Okay, so Nick, this is the spare fender I told you I was going to send along with it. That's a passenger side fender, driver's side door, and as I told you, I'd find you a wheel that had the clips. There it is, and your rear bumper's in there. The parts that are in, oh, here's a shot of the back. No damage on the back. The parts that are inside the truck, inside the glove box, is your rearview mirror with an original stem on it. This other glove box has your dome light, headlight switch, white handled GMC window cranks, and that piece for your firewall. You've got your spare tire rack right there, passenger side window regulator with good splines on it. And in this box is your small heater grill for the passenger side. The large one's already in the truck over there. I also put your hinge pocket covers, both of them, right here, and your complete deluxe heater system. Underneath the passenger side of the seat is both of your door panels and your kick panels. Here's your driver's side interior window garnish molding that goes up there on the inside of the door, and also the stainless steel trim piece that goes on the outside. I believe that covers it. Classic Truck Rescue, sending a project truck off to Pennsylvania. Get it. And be glad you're not getting that one instead. Yeah, that was pretty weird. All right, Nick, thank you for your business. Classic Truck Rescue, sending one down the road. Yeah, that's a Paxton supercharger,
like a
Model F. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is a rare bird right here. This thing's worth some money.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Wow, this is
Thanks for letting us look at that, guy. This is a factory supercharged 57 T-Bird. And it is pretty. And I think it's all original. It doesn't look to me like it's been restored. It's pretty sweet. It's a nice Porsche.
Okay, now is yours.
why it does that.
You want me to pull it in?
If you want to.
I'm used to driving it.
Okay. That's a lift kit.
You can't go.
My truck will be about this small. We're gonna build it.
You can't go. They have the Porsche or the T-Bird.
Probably the Porsche.
I'll look at the back and see how.
Посмотри, только чтобы вам вес попадал. Good. Good. Thank you. We have to disconnect the battery. Okay. You want me to leave the key in? Yes, yes, yes.
How you gonna get out?
Awesome, man. Yeah.
Let's see how he's gonna pull this off. Might have to Luke Duke it.
Yeah. Well, this one doesn't.
That's how I usually get out of cars. But I'm gonna click back in there.
I'm doing it every time.
I know.
I know. There we go. All right.
He did it.
This way.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Classic truck rescue. Peace out. It's coming along pretty nice, huh?
It's been a while since I worked on it
This is
again.
pretty much like that all my life. Probably. It's looking good.
Hi, Randy.
That's the one I want.
My problem.
I'm glad to see you making it around again, though.
Oh yeah.
Did you take the motor out? All right, we gotta go get something cold to drink.
Hey,
Let me know when you got my Camaro done.
I'm Randy's brother, George.
George, nice to meet you. Rick, this is Jamie.
What's the name of your shop?
Colby Collision,
And you're located where?
13780 Maxburg Road, Moala, Oregon.